All right. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode on Winning Picks Weekly. My name is John Meleka. My host, Greg Albert.
What's going on? Welcome
What
back,
up?
week 6.
With week 6, baby. Let's go. I just came back from London.
Yes,
Terrible
sir.
game for the Jets. Terrible week on Winning Picks Weekly for me. 2 consecutive 6-10 weeks. And now, Greg, and you had a 10-6 week.
Oh, of
and
course.
now we are officially tied at 38-42 for the year, sitting at 47.5%. Not great, but best bets. Greg was 3-0 last week, bringing up that best bet to 6-9. He's working his way up.
Yep.
I went 1-2. I'm telling you, just an abysmal week from top to bottom from me. But we learned, baby. We learned not to go to London for the Jets, but we learned other things too.
Yes, we did. We learned about the whole NFL, but we learned a lot about the Jets last week.
Yeah, we learned a lot. I'm sitting at 8-7 for the best bets.
Yep.
And here we are, man. Here we are, the week 6 slate. We want to start.
Before we get into week 6 slate, I just want to talk about how I started out 0-3, 0-3. Was getting a lot of flack on best bets, getting a lot of flack about all my picks. Now I said, maybe I might start doubling down on my picks. Since then, weekly 10-6, 5-11, 10-6. Best bets 2-1, 1-2, 3-0. So if you were following me, you were listening to what I was saying. If you were doubling down when I was saying to double down, you'd be doing good right now on best bets. You'd be doing good on just the whole week slate as we go. Hoping for another 10-6 week right now. We'll see how it goes, but can't happen because we're on bye weeks already. I can't believe that we're at that part of the season.
This is the best time to shine, man,
Yes.
because
Gets harder.
It gets harder, but it also gets easier because we're doing the whole slate here, and we all know the more games there are, the more likely you are to get them wrong. Man.
Less injury reports, less stuff to look at. You can just focus in on a couple teams. That's for sure.
So let's finally. You stuck in a 5-11 there, and let's try to get consecutive good weeks because
it's tough to do. It's a tough league.
Yeah.
Take the points. It's hard to score in the NFL.
All right, speaking of points, let's start with the Thursday game, man.
Okay.
We got Tampa Bay at Philly. Philly catching +6.5. Tom Brady doesn't cover in prime time.
It's apparently everyone's favorite stat to tweet online. If you're online, winning the letter P weekly, that's us. We're engaging with you guys. We're talking with you guys, and we're seeing the fact that Tom Brady is 0-10 against the spread in his last 10 starts in prime time, all over Twitter. It's everywhere. So everyone's talking about it. I was leaning Philadelphia for a while, but then I'm switching. I'm going Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's going to get it done tonight. He doesn't see the stuff online, but Philadelphia.
He sees the stuff online, bro.
Yeah, that's true too. But Philadelphia, they came off a big win last week against Carolina. They were down the whole game, really until going into the fourth quarter. I think they scored with like 8 seconds left in the third quarter. They got it going a little bit. So I think that was a little bit of a letdown spot for Philadelphia. I think Tampa Bay is just rolling. They're killing bad teams. I don't think Philadelphia is a good team. So I see them scoring a bunch of points tonight. Tampa Bay's defense is a little suspect, but I don't really feel like Philadelphia can capitalize on that with the pass game as much as some other teams can. So, give me Tampa Bay to start us off on primetime Thursday night, -6.5.
Well, lucky for you, I can never get Philadelphia correct, and I'm picking Philadelphia.
That's part of it too.
So that's huge, but I mean, they're begging us to take Tampa Bay, man. Tampa Bay 4-1. Philadelphia is awful at 6.5. Tom Brady just has to win by 1 touchdown. Lane Johnson's out. Nobody's going to talk about the fact that the Bucs starting safety and linebackers out. That's under the radar. I mean, this is perfect, right? Perfect spot for Timmy, which means like just give me Philadelphia. This is going to be a long game in terms of like eyesight. I think that it's going to be long for the defense, man. I think that both teams are just going to have the other team on skates. They're just going to run the ball, both of them. Tom Brady picks apart defenses. He's going to hold possession. I don't know. I just see this as a close game. So give me like the Bucs by 3. I'm taking Philly here. And honestly, Greg, I'm so happy that I'm stateside. I'm on this side of the Atlantic because I get to actually enjoy a 9:30 a.m. game on
football.
Sunday. And Yeah, man. Like I'm gonna be in Massachusetts this weekend. Somebody's getting married.
Yes, sir.
So one of our good friends on maybe on a co-host podcast. We don't know. We're not gonna name names. So we'll be out there. It'll be a fun time. Wake up early Sunday morning. Catch that Miami at Jacksonville home game on paper. And I mean, I was in London last week. I'm telling you, there's a lot of Jacksonville Jaguar jerseys. All right?
Feel tragic for those fans out there because Jacksonville, I feel like, is out there every season, if not every other season.
They all think that Jacksonville's gonna eventually stay there.
Yeah.
They all make fun of Shaq Khan's mustache. It's really a great time out there.
Yeah.
Which is why, I mean, do you hold your nose here? Do you hold your nose? Because
yeah,
I love the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I absolutely love it here. In London, they don't give a damn about Urban Meyer, what he did in Ohio State. They don't care what he did at the bar. They don't care what he says in interviews. They just want to see football, man.
Yep.
I'll give you a quick tidbit. In London, during, for example, this game is at Tottenham Stadium, just like the Jets game last week, Jets Falcons. When they're versing their rival Arsenal, the fans never interact. They have different entrances, different exits. They're separated, completely segregated because they cannot be around each other. During this football game, everybody's lucky to go. Everybody's just so happy to experience football.
Yeah.
And they're going to experience Trevor Lawrence. They're going to experience James Robinson. Everyone was excited about Rob Salah, the fact that he was on the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple times when they went, and he knows the timing. The Jacksonville Jaguars, man, they live in this time zone. They probably been running on this time zone all year waiting for this game.
Facts.
Hold your nose. Take the Jacksonville Jaguars money line, but also 3 in the hook, man. Like 3 in the hooks is like that. That is one of my best bets. So it's my best bet of the week.
Wow.
Take Jacksonville, one of the 3 plus 3 and the hook. Dude, they can lose by 3. They can lose by 3 of the awful Miami Dolphins.
They're terrible.
I've been telling you how bad this offensive line is, and they have no quarterback. Like, what are they possibly going to do? Jacksonville is desperate for absolutely desperate, drowning.
Despite what Trevor Lawrence says, did you see that with the whole Trevor Lawrence? So it was like, Urban Meyer comes out of the press conference and he's like, "We're desperate for a win. We show up every day. We're desperate. We're desperate." Like Trevor Lawrence walks out later. He's like, "You just can't get desperate. You just got to come in here to sit every day." It's like these two could not be more on the opposite page. So the Urban Meyer stuff scares me still a little bit because I think he kind of lost the locker room in a way. But to your point, I think winning fixes everything. So you get on a little roll here. Especially against Miami, who just has looked terrible. I'm with you. Taking a best bet on a 1-4 against the spread Jacksonville Jaguars is wild. So now I'm really rooting for you, but I'm taking Jacksonville as well. I think they got this. Like you said, 3.5. All you got to do is just come down and have a close game at the end of the game. You're covering this. So I like Jacksonville plus 3.5 here.
Yeah, I know it's kind of bold to make it one of my best bets, and that's why it's kind of my hold. It's my it's not my official hold your nose, but it's really 1A. Yeah. Because just hold your nose and take this best bet because I would hold your nose, take the money line too, man. I don't know. I'm just really feeling this game. But let's jump into the 1 o'clocks, right? So you watch this stinker, as I'm sure much of you guys did last week.
It's still football though. It's not that bad. I don't care how bad people were complaining. I mean, I'm a Jets fan. I was complaining the whole time, but it's still football. It's NFL, baby. I'll take it. I wish there was a 9:30 game every week, no matter what the team was. So
me too, honestly. So we're running into what do we got? 7 games in the 1 o'clock. It's gonna be there's some nice games, and I think the weirdest one to be at a one.
There's some stinkers too.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think what the weirdest 1 o'clock game to me, jumping right off, is Green Bay at Chicago at 1 o'clock. That's weird, man. Usually they're at 4 or at 8.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Time.
Or
they do the Bears dusty, put them in prime time.
Yeah, it's weird being a 1 o'clock game, which I mean it makes me kind of like Chicago, but Chicago's catching 4.5 at home against Green Bay. The only thing I like about this game, the only thing I like about Chicago this game is that it's at 1 o'clock. Other than that, I love Green Bay.
They're home. Yeah, they're 1 o'clock. And they Matt Nagy just remembered last week that you could run the football. Apparently, like he's like allergic to doing the right thing. I don't know what his deal is in Chicago. As a Jets fan, I kind of feel a little bit of a kinship to Chicago, kind of like a little bit of like a cousin of the in the NFL world,
Gates.
NFL family. I just feel so bad for those guys out there
Yeah.
because. I mean,
You just feel them.
we've been through it year after year with some terrible coaches. We just got out of the worst coach I've ever seen in my lifetime at the NFL level. So I feel bad for them. Justin Fields, though, if he can stay healthy, I know he got a little banged up on a play or two last week. So if he can stay healthy, I think he gives them a better chance. I said it earlier this season, too. I think he gives them a better chance than Andy Dalton. If they could run this football like they did last week, they get their O-line's playing okay. Their defense came to play last week. On this one, I really do like Chicago. Plus 4.5 at home.
I don't
1
blame
o'clock.
you. I really don't blame you.
Part of it's Chicago, part of it's Green Bay. So I know. What are you liking for this game?
So, because Chicago's a running team, the first thing I do is I run to Green Bay's running defense stats because obviously Chicago can't throw.
Yeah.
And they're up there, man. They're ranking at the top. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not top 10, maybe like 11, 12, in the running ranks. I just know how much Aaron Rodgers hates Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one game that I feel like he cares about, right? Like, everyone talks about, oh, we don't know. Does he care? This, that. Like, he gets up for Chicago games. Like, they just asked him an interview this week. They asked him, oh, like, what do you think about Chicago? What do they do different, whatever. He's like, oh, I mean, at least they fixed up their grass. Like, he hates them. You know what I mean? He really is like Tom Brady is to the Jets, where like he'll be winning the Super Bowls and the Jets will be like have 1 or 2 wins, and Tom Brady will talk about the Jets during his post game. That's what Aaron Rodgers does, man. He legitimately hates the Bears. He looks forward to this game in Soldier Field every year. And guess what, Greg? It's his last game in Soldier Field as a Green Bay Packer.
Yeah.
And he knows that. This is not a secret. It's not going to come up later. Oh, remember that one game where it was his last, no, he knows, man. He's ready to absolutely murder Chicago. I know they won last week. I actually really love Green Bay here. The only thing that makes me worried is it's at 1 o'clock and it's in Chicago.
Yes.
Like, that's the only thing. I'm like, nothing else about the game itself makes me worried. And that's, I'm going to take that neutralized with Aaron Rodgers' motivational piece. That's how you gamble. Give me Green Bay minus 4.5, man.
The only thing that worries me, so when I first looked at this game, I like Green Bay for a lot of the reasons you said. Part of it, too, going into the season, we did our first episode. I picked at the NFC. I picked Kyler Murray for MVP. I picked Aaron Rodgers for MVP. And I talked about his farewell tour. Obviously, week 1, they put up an absolute stinker. And after that, they've won 4 straight. But who have they played? Who have they beaten? It's been crap teams. They beat the Lions. They beat the 49ers, who aren't that good. They beat the Steelers, who aren't that good. They beat the Bengals by barely, just because the Bengals forgot how to kick field goals at the late, in the end of the game. So did the Packers, too. But, they've won some of these games. Some of these games close. They beat the 49ers on the late field goal. They beat the Bengals on a late field goal. So,
let me ask you a question. Before we talk about who
And they
Chicago
keep
is
getting
beating,
injured.
because of obviously nobody, that's it. You actually, nice transition, because look at the injury report this week. The Bears are hurting, man. Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, Al Robinson, no running back, not even Damian Williams, maybe.
Yep.
I don't know, man. You really have to go kind of hard for Chicago to beat Green Bay. And if they're not healthy, I know the 4.5 is scary, right? Because they don't let you tease it for a nice number.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not 5.5 4.5 is just not a nice number to bet regardless. I get that. Because like Green Bay by 5, you know what I mean? Then they cover and that's fine.
Yep.
Or by 4. I don't know, man. I love Green Bay up to 6. From 4.5 to 6, I like Green Bay. If you go to 7, 7.5, I think you're pushing it there.
Yeah, it's a football number. You gotta stay outside.
Yeah. I think anything from 5.5 to from 4.5 to 6.5, I think I'm okay with it.
Yep.
All right, you going Chicago?
Chicago all the way plus 4.5. I just need to
All
keep
right.
it close.
Okay, cool. Speaking of stinkers, boy, do we got a stinker here.
I can't even tell what game we're going to. There's so many other stinkers.
Oh, this is a big stinker, man. Cincinnati at Detroit. Detroit 0-5 coming off a cry game for
Yep.
Dan Campbell off that loss to
Fucking
Minnesota.
millennial coaches over here crying.
I thought they were lions, bro. I thought they were gonna
Yeah, I
eat
thought they
people
were eating
up, and
kneecaps.
yeah, what happened? We're crying after losses to Mike Zimmer, even though you covered, bro. You can't be crying after a cover.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the Mike Zimmer killer over here. Jinx the shit out of him every week.
we'll get into your Zimmer Vikings soon enough.
Yeah.
But Detroit 0-5, catching 3 in a hook to Cincinnati, really getting no respect. I mean, Cincinnati has been very good, kind of under the radar good, right? Jamar Chase every week. We're going to keep bringing up this college football nonsense.
Dude, I mean, we both play fantasy football. The best thing that happened this season is just some of these more preeminent. I don't know how much fantasy football podcasts and stuff you follow, but I follow a couple of them, and all these people are like rookie wide receivers, Jamar Chase, give me Higbee, give me Tyler Boyd, and it just dropped Jamar Chase like 2 or 3 rounds. Like I have him in as many leagues as I could take him. And the only league I didn't get him in, I think I might have passed on him, or I might have went the pick before me, is Dynasty, and that's kind of killing me a little bit because we're in the same Dynasty league. I would love to have him there. But, I mean, he's a stud. I love it.
and I mean, Burrow's been looking really good.
That's part of my handicapping on this, is that besides Burrow and Chase and Mixon, I worry about the rest of the team.
Yeah, the whole team's yeah.
They have 3 good players, and those are 3 critical players on offense, that's for sure. I worry about the offensive line. I worry about the rest of the players on offense, and the defense kind of looked okay last week against. I was at a wedding last week, so I only got to watch the beginning of like the 1:00 games. So I did catch them. We were watching that, and their defense did look okay, but I just get a little nervous about it, especially going on the road. Detroit's 0-5, but if you've been riding Detroit, you've been taking Detroit, I think like I have, they're 3-2 against the spread.
Mm-hmm. They've been okay, man.
They're okay.
Mm-hmm. Because nobody wants to take them.
Nobody wants to take them because they don't like taking the points. John, I love taking the points. So I am taking the Detroit Lions this week. Plus 3.5 at home. Like we were kind of talking about Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville's not a true home game, but so far we're starting off. I'm taking 3 stinky teams: Jacksonville, Chicago, Detroit. But I'm getting more than a field goal at home against teams that I'm not impressed with. I'm not impressed with Miami. I'm not impressed with Green Bay. I'm not impressed with Cincinnati so far. So, give me Detroit in this one.
Yeah, I mean Cincinnati's 2-3 against the spread, so it's not like they're exceeding expectations by any means, but they do hold possession. That's really what it is. So I can see why you would like Cincinnati, but it's just a desperate Detroit at home does something to me. They need to win this game.
They have to.
They need to win the game.
Well, they're running out of games that they can win.
That's exactly. Their schedule coming up is tough.
Yep.
So I'm riding with Detroit 3 in the hook. I believe this is the second game right now that we agree with. You got Jacksonville and Detroit, both 0-5 teams.
That's kind
of
scary.
Catching 3 in the hook, or both on it.
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, the Lions, though, like I said, I think they're the best 0-5 team. They're
doesn't say much, man.
Yeah, but they lost on 2 heartbreaking field goals. If those missed, they'd be 2-3 right now, and they'd be looking okay. So,
all right.
Yeah, just looking at their schedule.
It's tough, man. Stuff coming up. I know.
Now.
This is it. I think we're gonna no longer have winless teams after this week.
Yep.
So after those stinkers, let's go to your favorite Minnesota Vikings at Carolina Panthers. Okay. Because I mean, you were right last week, right? Detroit
I've been
lost
right
the game
the whole time, John. Minnesota does not cover. They're not a good football team. They stink.
I mean, they're 2-3.
Yeah, they're 2-3.
They're the same as Tampa against the spread. They're the same as
they stinks.
All right. Well, we just...
You know what the best part is? They're better than Kansas City. I keep saying it every week. No one listens to me. They're better than Kansas City. Kansas City can't cover for anything.
Dude, Kansas City are tied with the Jets against the spread, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Minnesota at Carolina. Carolina has McCaffrey coming back.
Yep.
Can I just talk to you about your favorite quarterback in the whole NFL, Sam Darnold?
Love
because
him.
he stinks, bro. He cannot. He just runs.
He has bad games.
Oh my god! Last week that was the most Jets half I've ever seen in my life. He tried to give away that game so bad, and he did. He did everything. He did everything he could to get rid of that game. He needs his Lord and Savior, Christian McCaffrey.
He succeeded in giving it away. He definitely could use some help on offense. I mean, I think Hubbard's been pretty good. I got him in Dynasty. I like the way he looks. They just need more help. I think on the offensive line, he's just getting pressured so much. He's getting hit so much. Going obviously, Carolina, I have them every which way this season. So the last 2 weeks have been kind of tough because I really thought they were going to win last week for sure. I mean, they were up, but even the week before, I'm blanking on who they played the week before.
I'm telling you, last week Sam Darnold tried to lose a game as hard as he can, but the other week they lost to Dallas, and Dallas is 5-0 against the spread.
Dallas is good. Dallas is good, but still they lost by a touchdown. Like they were still kind of in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Darnold looked okay that game, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He did look okay in Dallas.
But again, he's getting hit, he's getting pressured.
That was his running games. That was right. That was when he started. Yeah.
Yep. So, and again, but still 2 touchdowns to DJ Moore in the fourth quarter in that game. So last week it just was tough. There was some close plays, like we said. There was a big bomb to Robbie Anderson, I think, in the second quarter. That just got tipped right the last second. That would have put them up by a ton of points. So, just the little things that are off. I think Carolina bounces back here after 2 straight losses. Their defenses look really strong. Dalvin Cook, I'm not sure if he's going to play this week. I don't know if you've seen him on the injury reports, but they have a bye next week, so it makes sense to rest him one more week and get the extra rest, the extra week of rest. But
he had a limited practice.
Yeah.
But who didn't practice? Thielen didn't practice.
Yep.
Griffin didn't practice. Anthony Barr didn't practice. Justin Jefferson didn't practice. Alexander Madison didn't practice.
Yep.
So they're kind of looking tough.
Dude.
But
Minnesota, just Kirk Cousins is
I have
not
a question.
Good. Defense is not good.
I have a question.
Yep.
Does Shaq Thompson not practicing change everything for Carolina?
Not change everything. I know you have a couple of those defensive guys that you feel like if they're out, like it just completely changes the defense. I really don't believe in that too much. But he definitely makes an impact. I mean, Shaq Thomas and Christian McCaffrey both being out, I think last week, I think it was last week they were both out. I could be wrong about that, but that's your top guy on offense and on defense. So that's where those kind of things start adding up and kind of giving you some trouble. So,
You think this line is weird? Like it's you're telling me Minnesota stinks and you're telling me Carolina is amazing, but really Carolina is -3 and it went down to minus. It's supposed to be -3 because they're home and it's -1.5.
I got one later. I'm not sure if you're also going to use it, so I'll use it here. This is my what am I missing game of the week. I cannot figure out why. Now that you say that, I cannot figure out why Carolina is -1.5 at home. They've lost 2 kind of close games against some decent teams. I mean, not decent in Dallas, not decent in the Philadelphia, but we've said home team should be -3. So the fact that they're -1.5, like Vegas is trying to tell us that Minnesota's better than Carolina, I don't see that at all.
That's what makes no sense. And like Minnesota didn't cover versus Detroit last week. Like
not for 1 minute. Not for 1 minute Minnesota didn't cover. I want to make that very clear. I was told, Mike Zimmer, he's the best. He covers. Didn't cover for 1 time the whole game.
And now at Carolina, and Vegas is telling me they're better. Meanwhile, the injury report is something is like something
plus
is
there's
fishy,
7
man.
guys injured on Minnesota, so
and McCaffrey's coming back.
Yeah.
Not like this doesn't make sense to me at all, man.
So because it doesn't make sense, it makes me kind of want to take Minnesota, but I have too much on Carolina. I'm pot committed. Give me Carolina -1.5. I really truly believe that they're the better team. So that's my pick for the day. Who do you like in this game?
I mean, who do I like? I obviously like the Carolina Panthers, but all right, let me ask you one question, because I see here that it's trending towards moving to -2.
Okay.
Okay. So that's only 1 point off if it closes like that. Maybe if it even jumps to 2.5. I see at FanDuel, it's at 2.5.
Yep.
So, other markets have it like that. So who knows? Where do you have the public on this game?
Site I have says that it moved from 1.5 to 2.5.
And where do you have the public? Yeah.
And it's 53-47. 47% on the Panthers.
I got the same exact numbers, but I got the money on the Panthers.
Okay.
That makes me really like the Panthers.
Yeah.
If the public was all over one side here, I would worry. But I'm gonna stick with Carolina here. But the Thompson thing makes me shake. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm honest. Shaq Thompson being out makes me shake. I don't care about Minnesota. Minnesota's always injured. Zimmer is the guy that figures it out with nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't. Carolina's not doing. Mike Rule is not figuring anything out. Okay, I don't care. Matt Rule stinks. I don't care what anyone says. I like Carolina. They're fine. Matt Rule is not. Okay, they're gonna lose because of him some games. Yeah, where's his boy from Temple, Robbie Anderson? Everyone's freaking out about. Whatever.
Yeah.
Give me Carolina -1.5 with you, but I don't really love it. And I'm gonna go with another game that I don't really love, and I know you are on the opposite of me. I don't have to hear it from you. I already know. It's Kansas City at Washington. Kansas City, who, as you mentioned, are 1-4 against the spread, which are tied with the New York Jets. Yes, that's right. Greg's background, the New York Jets.
New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars, Washington, San Francisco, all 1-4, along with the Kansas City Chiefs. Disgusting.
So we have Kansas City at Washington, who is on that list.
Something's got to give.
Washington +6.5. They're begging us to take Kansas City. They really are. And I might have to jump on that bandwagon. I can't. It's like the light. Like I'm a mosquito, and there's a light, and I can't stop flying towards the light. I say it every week, and I'm never gonna stop. I need to fly towards the light. It's gonna even out. However, I mean, Kansas City looked terrible last week. I didn't watch it.
Good.
I had to rewatch it, right? Because I went to the pub after the game.
Nice. Other London town.
To do some red zone with some random jerseys, right? And I couldn't really eye it.
Yep.
I was just like watching the game. I came back on Game Pass, watched the Chiefs. They didn't look that great, man. However, let me ask you a question. When you're watching that game, are you thinking Patrick Mahomes is going to do it? Like, I'm sitting there watching. No, you didn't have that feeling that he was going to come back in that game?
Week 1, I came on the show and I told everyone loud and clear, the Chiefs stink.
I'm just asking this last game. Like, I'm watching last game, and I'm thinking he's going to come. He's just going to do some stupid touchdown.
Yeah, they're going to run the touchdown play.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't happen anymore. That's over.
That was
3 years ago.
I was really waiting, even because, I mean, I knew the score. I knew that they lost, but I do this thing where I take the scores off of Gamecast, so I don't know the exact score if I don't remember it. You know what I mean? I didn't really watch the games.
Okay.
So I didn't know. So I was like, the whole time I was like, yo, okay, a touchdo's coming. Like I'm like waiting for. I'm like honestly waiting. I didn't like check the stats exactly. Like I try to like keep myself a little in the dark if I'm gonna rewatch the game. Dude, I don't love it. And I don't recommend it. I'm taking Kansas City -6.5.
Can't Washington for me. This is my hold your nose pick of the week.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's going to be hold your nose. I'm thinking about Washington. Their defense isn't what it was last year. They're home. They're getting points. That field sucks.
I know.
I don't know if Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce's banged up a little bit. I got him in a couple leagues.
Are they even going to play?
I don't know. Both those guys.
That's a great. That's a great.
Clyde Edwards is out. He's on injured reserve.
They got Damian Williams, baby. Damian Williams.
This team, I'm telling you, I said it early in the season, if one of those guys get hurt, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, the whole thing falls apart. You might have 2 of those guys hurt. You definitely have Clyde Edwards-Helaire out, which I don't know if that's good or bad.
He's a fumble machine. Bro.
Yeah, dude, he hasn't been good at all. So, but week 1 came here, I said take the alternate under for the Chiefs.
Yeah, you did.
I mean,
but so it's just 2 and 3.
I said take the Chargers. 2 and 3 though. There's the alternate under
9,
under
right?
10.5, I think.
Yeah.
So you need to get 10 losses on the season. You need 7. You need 7 losses. Or you need to get you need 7 losses on the season for that to hit.
Yeah.
You're halfway there.
Yeah. Almost. Glass half full kind of guy. All right, so
Yeah.
you don't actually care about this game. We're just fading Kansas City.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
highest.
So you don't care
it's
who
the
this game is. You don't care. This game could be
No.
anyone, and
Kansas
you're just fading Kansas City. That's your strategy here.
Yes and no. It depends what the line is. Because if Vegas wises up, or if the public wises up, but the public hasn't wised up, they think they're going to run the touchdown play every time. They don't do it anymore. They got exposed. You run too high safety. You keep everyone in front of you. You don't let Tyreek Hill go for 50 yards, and you beat the Chiefs. Like, it's not rocket science. Just don't let them run a 60-yard play. Keep Robinson.
They double Kelsey. They've been doubling Kelsey. Last game they doubled Kelsey for a little bit. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So, it's not rocket science. Pat Mahomes has more turnovers this year than he did at this point of the season than he did all of last year.
What about Washington, bro?
Washington's
so bad, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but their offense is gonna score. They flipped. I don't know what happened. They woke up. It's like opposite day for them. I don't know what happened to them, but their offense is as good as their defense was last year. And
nobody's practicing for them, man.
Yeah.
Like Curtis Samuel's out. Antonio Gibson hasn't practiced. Brandon Scherf is out.
Curtis Samuel's been out all season. Antonio Gibson's always not practicing during the week. I have him in fantasy. He always takes like a day or two off during the week to nurse a foot or a knee or a toe or something. I'm just saying,
I mean, I'm sure Scherf will play. I'm sure Gibson will play.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
It's the highest point total of the week right now. Like, this is going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a back-and-forth game.
Can't do it. That means Vegas is adjusted, man. If it's a high-scoring game, they know that both defenses stink. They've adjusted. Everyone thinks that Kansas City's going to win every game. Washington has a good defense. Vegas is adjusted. It's the highest total.
6.5 is tricking you. It's coming up on Halloween. It's trick or treat. They're trying to trick you into taking Kansas City. They're like, oh, it's under 7. Nope, Washington's gonna win this easy. But it's my nose pick of the week. If the Chiefs score a touchdown quick, you're holding your nose all game. But I do think there's garbage time. There's chances for them to come back. I think Washington keeps up with Kansas City here. It's gonna be high scoring. That's why I'm taking points. Points are hard to come by. Give me 6.5 with Washington at home.
All right. Well, listen, we've been killing on the hold your nose picks, man. We've been absolutely murdering. Like last week, I had Cincinnati. You had Pittsburgh last week. I mean, we're murdering on the hold your nose picks, but week to week. So that's a good omen for you. You've been right about Kansas City. I feel like it's gonna have to start flipping at some point. We'll see. Yeah. I don't love it. I really don't. But if I have to choose, I'm taking KC, man. I just have to. Is this a Josh Gordon game? Washington literally stinks, man. I don't know. I guess he could have a Fitzpatrick game at home, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you said that
the organization's in shambles, bro. This organization, if there is a get right game for Kansas City, it's at Washington, bro.
That's true. With everything going on, Washington, I don't know. They have a deal with the devil, man. They're bulletproof. Everyone that's ever been associated with that franchise is going down, except for anyone inside the office.
And they just decided that they're going to retire Sean Taylor this week.
Yeah.
Like, they're looking for something over there, man. They're looking for some positivity. Yeah, like, I think Kansas is going to wipe the floor. Everyone's going to come back. But you make a really good point about the field. So keep your eye on the injury report and find out who plays, man. Because if the playmakers don't play, Kansas City is the Jets. So
facts.
So moving on to a team that, I mean, we're setting the bar at the Jets. This team might be worse than the Jets this week, and that is their rival, New York Giants, who I don't know who's playing on the New York Giants, man.
I know Saquon Barkley's definitely not.
Saquon Barkley's definitely not.
Did you see the picture of his ankle when it swelled up?
Dude, I know.
Gross.
Danny, he's going to be a Jet soon. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
That's how it works. Danny Jones, he looks like he's going to be out.
Yep. Concussion protocol.
Galladay's out. Their offensive
Shepard's
line
out.
The offensive
Andrew
line
Thomas
is out. Like, I don't know where the Giants are going to get a win from, but this is not asking for a win. The spread is 10.5.
Biggest spread of the week.
Rams at Giants. I mean, I don't know how in the world the score isn't going to be 50-0. Rams. I have no idea. But it's just so many points. If you ask me, I have to think the Giants, bro. Just give me if they fall into a field goal by accident. But it also is Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I just give me the Giants plus 10.5, man. Like this could be like one of those Matt Stafford games where he wins like 10-0. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, or maybe like I don't know how the Giants are going to score a touchdown.
I was
really
just looking at it, though. Like 2 weeks ago, we had Buffalo minus 16.5. They covered that easy.
Okay.
Last week, we had Tampa Bay minus 10.5. Did we have another team minus 10.5 as well last week? No, maybe not. So we had Tampa Bay minus 10.5. They covered that easy. This week, we got the Rams minus 10.5. I think they're going to cover that easy. I like the Rams in this one. You were talking about kind of a get-right game for Kansas City. Rams are 4-1 right now, but I think that the last game that they played, who did they play? Or no, the game that they played against Arizona, they lost to, right? Arizona beat them. I think they're still kind of recovering from that because I don't think they played a great game last week. They played the Seahawks and kind of they didn't look too impressive. I think their offense was much more explosive the first couple weeks, so I think this is where they get right. I think their offense comes to play. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. They got a couple running backs now that have been looking okay. So this is for me, minus 10.5. This is the best bet for me of the week. I like the Rams on the road, West Coast traveling east, 1 o'clock. I think that's kind of been dispelled over the last couple of years with all the teams prepping for it. So I just don't know who's.
I keep bringing them up today, but the Jets go West Coast. They haven't won a game in 10 years.
Yeah, the Jets too. I just don't know who's gonna play for. I just don't know who's gonna play for
the Giants.
The Giants.
Know, that's why. Yeah, I have a question though. Why were they only 7.5 for Dallas?
I don't know. It tricked me. I took them last week.
I know, me too. And I feel like they're tricking me a little here. Like, why is it only 10.5 and nobody's playing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
Like, nobody's playing and it's against the Super Bowl Rams. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I think that
it's really 13.5.
Well, I think they're home this week instead of on the road. If they were on the road, they would probably be closer to like 14 or something like that.
Yeah, well, technically it's 13. It's 3, so it's 13.5 really.
Yeah, so it would be even more than that because they were on the road against Dallas and.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to walk through this game. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't love this game. I would just take the Giants and kind of hold my nose, but I would not recommend it, man. I would not recommend taking the Giants just because we don't even know who Mike Glennon. It's tough. It's a tough watch.
Yeah, it's not like he's going to do anything. So,
watch.
Looking at the Rams injury report, the only one I see is questionable is Aaron Donald. He's going to play. He's going to murder. So,
that's true.
Don't have to worry about it.
All right. You think they're going to go out in New York City?
Oh, yeah.
So you think that'll affect the game?
Nope.
Okay.
I think it's Super Bowl. I think this is just a easy game. Like get up 30 points in the third quarter and let some of these other guys come in, stay healthy, get back to home, and keep
you know what? I'm not gonna get cute. I'm just gonna take the Rams.
Yeah.
Speaking of another disgusting game, and the last of the 1 o'clocks. No, 2 more 1 o'clocks.
We got a great 1 o'clock game left and a bad
disgusting
one. So where are we going?
We're going disgusting, man. So I can get the taste out of my mouth at the end.
Eat the
here.
Brussels sprouts before the ice cream.
Yeah,
I like it. Smart.
yeah. You got Houston at Indy, both 1-4, but Indy's minus 9.5. Now let's talk a little bit about these Indianapolis Colts, man. I could not figure these boys out this year. Usually, I'm pretty good with them. Usually, Indy is my team, and I usually don't get them wrong.
Right.
I've been pretty wrong on Indy this week, and it's because I've been listening to everybody. I've been listening to the media. I've been worried about Carson Wentz's ankles, both of them. I've been worried about Quentin Nelson being out. And on the other hand, I've been really right on Houston. Houston's 1-4, but we've been catching them pretty good, man. They're 3-2 against the spread, and I feel like we've had them in all 3 of those games.
Yeah, I think I'm just looking at our picks right now. The only game we were opposite is the week they went against Buffalo.
Which I can't those points, man. They look too good. I hopped off the Giants, but sometimes I can't resist the 3 possession. A whole different animal. 3 possession, I can't. Yeah. I really can't.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go Houston. I'm gonna go Houston plus 9.5 at Indy, division game, because even when Indy's really good, they don't cover this game. Like, even if Indy is like at their peak and Houston is the same as Houston, no problem. They're not covering this game.
Yeah, like if Indy was 4-1 instead of 1-4, they're not covering this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if Houston was 0-5 and Indy was 5-0 going into this game, I really don't think Indy's covering 9.5.
Honestly, if you're like feeling like frisky, this is a game I might think about betting like just Houston money line on, because this is one of those games that doesn't shock me that Houston can win this one.
Not at all.
They're an indoor team going to an indoor stadium. I don't know who's hurt and who's playing on Indianapolis, but Indianapolis is dead to me after last week.
I see it at 10 points, Greg.
Yeah,
I see it at 10.
So, I love it. Love it at 9.5. Love it at 10. Love it wherever you can get it, because I just think that Indy is just one of those teams that's no matter who they play, it's going to be a close game. I had them last week money line and spread. They were up so many points and they blew it. So they're dead to me. Whole team defense. How do you let Lamar Jackson throw for 400 yards against you, or whatever it was? Was it 300 or 400 yards? Whatever it was, it should be criminal. It was just ridiculous what they were. Lamar Jackson was looking terrible. He's the 1 yard line fumbling king out there.
Oh my goodness!
And dude,
we're gonna get into that. But I cannot get over this guy fumbling at the 1. Like, Danny Jones is addicted to turnovers.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold addicted to interceptions. Lamar Jackson addicted to fumbling on the 1.
And I know I traded him to you in Dynasty. He had 440 yards and 4 touchdowns. Imagine if he didn't fumble on the 1 2 or 3 times. He would have the 2 or 3 more rushing touchdowns. Like, just stop fumbling on the 1 yard line, dude.
It's a little, that is a little wild to me, this whole thing. But we'll get into that.
Yeah,
give me Houston 9.5 or 10. The money line's 355, bro. 355.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might take a little bit on that.
This is my money line. This is definitely my underdog of the money line of the week, bro. Yep. Definitely. I love Houston here. Love it. Going into your Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Last game of the 1 o'clocks. Probably the best game of the 1 o'clocks. Top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Green Bay, Chicago. I don't know. Minnesota, Carolina might end up being a good football game.
Kansas City, Washington could be a good football game.
Yeah, but I mean, so this is right there, man. LA at Baltimore, both 4-1. This line's begging me to take the Chargers, and I'm taking it. You're begging me, and I'm no problem, because I really like this Chargers team, man. I hated all the hype for Justin Herbert coming into this season, because he's like the "I told you so" quarterback to these people, even though you and I have been watching Justin Herbert for so long, and it's just like, oh, who's this Justin Herbert guy?
Yeah,
wow, Miami. Wow,
people that are surprised by Justin Herbert drive me fucking nuts. It's like, well, you don't watch football then.
And like that's where I was at, like, coming into the year, right? I'm just like, this whole thing with how the LA is going to be this crazy underdog. I was like, all right, I'm missing something here. So you mentioned my football guys, whether they're injured or not. Derwin James was that guy for me.
Yes.
For Florida State, he was that guy for me. And at the Chargers, he was always that guy. If Derwin James is out, I'm out. Right? That's how it's always been.
Totally different defense.
Because he's the quarterback. Yeah. So I know we don't care, but it matters. And not only are the Chargers 4-1 normally, but they're 4-1 against the spread.
Yeah.
So them catching 2.5, I gotta take the Chargers here. I have to. I know they're begging me. I know it looks like a Joe Schmo pick, right? 3 in the hook. It's a football number. How do you not take it? Baltimore barely won last week. I gotta go with the LA Chargers, dude. The Baltimore secondary is terrible. I really don't like it. I think Baltimore is gonna hit a snag soon, man. They are the most overrated 4-1 team in the league, and they're about to run into the LA Chargers, who are probably, I don't want to say the best 4-1 team in the league, but probably the most underrated 4-1 team in the league.
The Baltimore Ravens, so they easily could have lost or should have lost last week. That's a given, right?
Obviously.
Then what's the other easy loss that they had?
What was that versus
the Lions miracle field goal?
Oh my God, the double bounce.
So everyone's like, well, the 60-something yarder right off the bottom of the thing. People forget that week 2, they got the miracle win against the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, Lamar, you want to go for the four? You want to go for it? That fucking soundbite that won't die on the internet. Like, yeah, he wants to go for it. He's an NFL player trying to win a football game. Of course.
I mean, they had an impressive win versus Denver.
So, yeah, they had an impressive win. So, again, those 3 games, if they lose those 3 games, which they should have lost, we're talking about a 1-4 Baltimore Ravens team that stinks because they have no one on offense and they don't have a great defense anymore.
Whoa. Don't tell me they have no one on offense. Mark Andrews
good, yes.
and Marquise Brown absolutely murdered it for me.
Marquise Brown, when he catches a football, is good. When he drops wide open touchdowns multiple times in a game, he stinks. So.
Okay, can we tangent real quick? Are you with Bart Scott? Do you think Marquise Brown would start on other teams like Kansas City and Tampa Bay and LA Rams? Bart Scott was kind of spicy with him.
Well, he was saying that he wouldn't.
Yeah, he was. Okay, he's talking spicy, right?
It's like would Deshaun Jackson his prime start on other teams besides the teams that he's on? It's like yes, he's like a unbelievably fast guy who can get open. He just has to catch the football.
Yeah, he was giving him some slack, and they were kind of going back and forth.
Kansas City, I mean, they just have a bunch of those kind of guys. So would he be the best out of like Hardman and Robinson and stuff?
Come on,
maybe not.
Come on.
Dude, he's a little small, but if he can just, I mean, on any team, everyone can use speed. Speed kills. You can't teach speed. So, yeah, he's fine.
So you got the Chargers here as well?
Chargers, easy, +3.5. Ravens are fraud. I love the Chargers. Gave him out before the season. Said take him to win the division.
Yeah.
I
love that they're 4-1 here. I love that they won last game. Like, if they didn't win last game, I would be nervous. I love that Baltimore won last game.
Yeah, exactly. You were talking to about Herbert, these people who are like, oh, surprised. I will say this. I had Herbert in Dynasty. The reason why I traded Lamar Jackson is because I had Herbert as a backup, so I felt confident with him this season. I love the coaches that they brought in. What I will say to this is to defend these people a little bit, because I think the argument that they're missing, or the part of the argument that they're missing, is I'm surprised how good Herbert is so quickly.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I expected Herbert. He's a top 10 quarterback. He would have been the first overall quarterback if he went out the year he was supposed to go out. I've heard about him for 3 or 4 years now. They got this guy out in Oregon. He's going to be great. They got this guy out in Oregon. He's going to be great. You have to stay up till 10 o'clock to watch him, though, and, his team's not very good, but he's great, all this stuff. So I think that's the biggest thing, is how quickly he came along. Like, he started out the season last year, people forget, not starting. Yep. Then all of a sudden he got thrown into a starting gig, played well, but got better every week.
He cut his hair. He cut his hair.
Well, that was superstition suicide. I don't know. Yeah. That's a tongue twister right there. But we thought it was over.
I thought it was over after that.
Yeah, that was. Trust me, as a dynasty fantasy owner, I had a heart attack when I saw that. I was like, is this an old picture? Is this when he was 16? Like, what's going on?
Tough.
Yeah, but the Locks are back. He's back. This whole Chargers team is good, man. Dude, I like the head coach that they brought in from the Rams.
Dude, I love Staley, Lombardi. Bro. Oh, my goodness. I love Staley.
Dude, I talked about it before the season. Everyone now, it's like, that's like part, like these Barstool guys, all these people are like, oh, I love Staley, Like, yeah, I've been saying it for 6 weeks now. This guy's awesome. Rams guy, he's a good guy. He gave a great speech or great question and answer to a press conference about
every press conference.
Everyone, honestly.
It's crazy.
Good.
He's so
good. He gave one about John Gruden, and it was like not football-y. It was more like personal and stuff like that. And like you can just see like he's just a good guy. And I mean the Rams defense has been amazing. Sean McVay's staff is awesome. And then you got Joe Lombardi coming in here from New Orleans. Like you're bringing in guys that are seasoned guys under good coaches, under good organizations. And again, the whole thing's turning around quickly. I think quicker and better than people expected. So that's the thing I think people are missing with the Justin Herbert conversation is, we all knew who's going to be good, but being this good this quick has been pretty impressive to watch. I mean, he slung it last week against the Browns.
Speaking of the Browns.
Oh, you like that little setup?
Speaking of the Browns.
Let's kick this 4 o'clock window off.
The witching hour is over. It's 4:05.
We all made a ton of money. We all took our picks. We made a ton of money.
Killed it in the 1 o'clock.
Yep.
And then we got the 5-0 Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. And Greg, let me tell you something, man.
Let me tell you something. Before we get to this 4 o'clock window, I want to do something because I want to get better at this.
All right.
Winning picks weekly is on YouTube. Is on
Let's
Twitter.
go. Let's go.
Subscribe. Let us know what you guys are taking. We're getting comments. I love the comments. I love interacting with people. If you're not following the main podcast that John does with his co-host Alex, the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast, have to be following that too. It's all on the Knicks, Jets, etc. website or the YouTube page. I mean, put out videos every week talking sports, talking all that stuff, and especially the Winning Picks Weekly. We're talking gambling the whole time. We love it. So interact with us. Let us know what you guys winning. The letter P Weekly on Twitter. Winning Picks Weekly. You can find us on the Knicks, Jets, etc. YouTube channel.
Love it. Love it.
You know what I love too? This 4:00 window.
Do you love the first game though? Because it's the Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. And Greg, let me tell you something, man. I rewatched these Cleveland Brown games, and I want to throw up.
Yeah,
I want to throw up watching all these. I have Nick Chubb, right? So I just like to I like to go watch. I never watch Cleveland Browns games, so I just put on the Game Pass and I let that roll. I like to see what's going on, what the broadcast is talking about. You know how they look. They look terrible every week.
No,
they look terrible.
No, they don't. That's
but
my Super Bowl. That's my Super Bowl pick. They do not look terrible.
They win. They cover, but they look so bad doing it. I hate watching them. They're 3-2 against the spread. I have no complaints. They're 3-2 normally.
Yeah.
Like I take them sometimes, but God, like I'm being super honest. When I watch them, I'm just like, oh, like they should be a Thursday game every week. you know what
they are? I was trying to think of like an analogy when you were talking about this pre-show a little bit about what they remind me of. They remind me of someone who's over the last couple of years start dabbling in stocks. Like this like behemoth like oil dividend paying company that is just like it's ugly, you don't like it, there's none of this exciting growth. Justin Herbert, all these young quarterbacks aren't coming in, all these explosive offenses aren't coming in. We're just gonna show up every week, out physical the team, beat them with the run, and go home. And we're gonna pay that dividend. You're gonna win money against the spread. You're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna try to make a run. Baker Mayfield's not gonna be flashy, even though he was in college. He's calmed down. He's chilling out. He's trying not to get injured.
Yeah,
and
he's sliding.
And that's my best analogy.
He slides,
for him.
bro.
He slides.
I think that's great too.
Yeah,
I wish fucking
they're
Zach
so
boring,
bro.
Once
in a while.
They're
Stop
so
running
boring. They're so boring, man. It's so hard to watch them.
Show up every month and get that quarterly dividend, baby. They're just cashing it out. You know who's not like that at all? The team that you and I think maybe love most besides the Jets right now, the team that they're playing, the Arizona Cardinals. That's flashy. That's Cliff Kingsbury. That's the baby Yoda himself out there. Future MVP Kyler Murray. He is killing people. He has to stay healthy, too. This offense, though, AJ Green, where'd you come from? Where have you been the last 5 years? Holy God.
In Cincinnati, bro.
Yeah, it's
with the Red Rocket.
It's in Cincinnati with Andy Dalton dying away.
Yeah. And Hugh Jackson, bro.
Yeah, facts, though. That's true. So, I have Hopkins, and, he's been banged up this year, but in this whole wide receiver core is good. You got Kirk, you got Green, you got Hopkins. I know their tight end just went down for the season, so that kind of hurts a little bit. But as
Max Williams,
Williams, as long as they have Kyler Murray healthy. I know Chase Edmonds has been banged up a little bit. James Conner's look good though, as this little lightning and thunder.
Dude, I love them. I love the Edmonds. Not for fantasy, but I love the Conner and Chase Edmonds doubleheader. It really is.
You got the speed, and then you just got. James Conner's good in the open field. You saw it 1 or 2 seasons.
He's so skinny now.
Well, yeah. He had to get in shape a little bit. He kind of
played in Arizona.
A little bit. Yeah, true. He moved out to Arizona.
He's not Pittsburgh. He's got to ram your head in every HB dive.
Facts though. But he's good on the goal line. He's got a couple touchdowns this year. He's fine. So I think this whole team's good. The defense looked a little good. I got a little nervous this week. I don't know if you saw. I think 2 or 3 guys got put on the COVID list, including Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
So I know
that's the one thing that worries me. But another thing, it's an enigma. Nobody practices on Cleveland. Nobody.
Yeah.
Chubb doesn't practice. The tackles don't practice.
Yeah.
David Montgomery doesn't practice.
Baker.
The Joker doesn't practice. Nobody practices. And then all of a sudden they just show up and they win this disgusting game. I cannot bet them. I just can't. I can't do it this week. After watching last week, like I've been taking them here and there. this week versus the 5-0 Arizona. I know everybody's gonna take Arizona, getting points at 5-0. This is another Joe pick I'm just gonna ride with. Like I get, especially if it depends how many people hit the COVID list, man. Because like if the Browns don't practice, so it doesn't matter. Like they're all gonna play. I know that. But if you get like Chandler Jones and like somebody like if they have COVID, it makes me really lean towards Cleveland here, man.
Yeah, it depends how far this whole thing goes. If they stop it with just the 2 or 3 guys, then to me that's not the biggest. That's not the biggest thing. I mean, Chandler Jones is kind of a tough miss. That sucks, but
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it earlier about just one. Chandler Jones.
Damn.
He obviously had a great week 1, but to me, he's not an instrumental guy that if he's missing, the whole defense is off. I think the whole defense suffers, but it's not completely different. So I'm going with Arizona on this one.
All right, well, I'm going to be on Arizona was going to be one of my best bets, but with Chandler Jones out, that worries me. I think I'm going to switch my best bet to the Chargers.
Okay.
For my second best bet of the week after Jacksonville, right? So we got Jacksonville as the first one, 3.5. We got the Chargers 3.5 away.
Yep. And you got
at
Carolina.
Baltimore. And no, Carolina is not gonna be my. Yeah, no, that's not. Actually, my best bet is another 4:00 game.
Oh.
Which we'll get into right now.
The only gripe I have about the 4:00 game or the 4:00 window is that there's 3 games.
Yeah, but they're good ones. They're gonna be really fun to watch. So I'm okay to hone in
red
on them.
zone,
I know.
Give me like Minnesota, Carolina.
I know.
Like who cares? No one cares. Or Green Bay, Cleveland.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Chicago.
Green Bay, Chicago, they messed it up. Somebody that's supposed to be a 4:00
Flex them
game.
down. Someone just give me a crappy game. Houston, Indy. I don't care. I need 4 games on that time with red zone.
I feel you. I do. I feel you. So I'm gonna stick with Arizona. You know what? We can't really change the picks. We don't change the picks after it goes, even though we do it in real life. If you follow us on Twitter, we'll let you know our material changes. But we don't do that for the purposes of this show.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna go with Cleveland here. I'm just gonna assume that Arizona has COVID.
Okay.
Because I can't I can't take them with no linebackers when all I do is watch the Cleveland Browns run. And now Arizona has no linebackers. What am I doing? I can't take that. So there's a material change right in front of my face. I got to change it out. But I'll give you my third best bet. And this one makes me sick to my stomach a little bit, but not really. So it's the Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots.
Oh my God, are we about to double best bet?
Oh man, is this the best bet of yours? Because I'm taking Dallas. Man.
Yeah.
They're 5-0 against. Okay, I didn't know. I honestly did not know this is gonna be your best bet. So this is.
Now I'm terrified.
Is this the first ever double best bet?
No, I think I tailed you on the fucking you and your goddamn. I don't even want to get into it. You and your Seattle, all the magician. I think one week I tailed you in Seattle on a best bet. Yeah, they lost easy. I mean, it wasn't even close.
That's hilarious. Okay, so best bet. I hate the New England Patriots, and not from a personal level. I watch their games and I can't understand what it is. They only do is chop block, run the ball, and throw the tight ends. That's all I see. And it's like these stupid screens to Jacoby Myers. Like I feel like the Georgia Bulldogs could beat the New England Patriots. Like I feel like if they just studied if there was a really, really good defense, you could just beat this New England team. And I think that's exactly what Dallas has. I think Dallas has a good defense. And I think if they control the ball, I don't see how New England even scores. I know that sounds insane.
It does sound insane.
New England stinks, bro.
Well, New England stinks, but I don't know if I agree with anything you just said about why. I agree. I agree with the outcome that you predicted, that I think Dallas is going to win, but I don't think Dallas has a good defense. And I do think Dallas, I don't think has a good defense at all. And I think New England has been able to throw it. I think that they've been able to air it out the last 2 weeks.
Oh, you're gonna tell me you've been impressed with McCorkle's throws?
I mean, I got Hunter Henry. He had a nice week last week, 75 yards and a tutty.
That's what I'm saying. They've just been throwing to the tight ends. Like they're
they
scheming well.
They brought in 2 tight ends and they brought in 2 possession receivers. You know, they didn't bring in these dynamic deep threat wide receivers. I mean, unless you count Nelson Aguilar, who had one good year.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
It's a style they want to run. What I'm surprised with the New England Patriots is their lack of running the football. I don't know if that's just because they've been down the last couple of weeks, but I'm surprised that Damian Harris hasn't been getting more like 50-something yards each game. Like, I'm surprised that he hasn't been running a little bit more, but I do not think that Dallas has a good defense. I feel like Dallas has been giving up yards, so you know, I don't think Mac Jones maybe has 400 yards.
They've been giving up points, not yards. If that means anything,
Cowboys?
You know what I mean? Yeah, especially not against the
Cowboys.
run.
Cowboys have been giving up. I mean, I guess it depends on the NFL what your definition of points is, but they gave up 20, 28, 21, 17, 29.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot.
It's a lot of points.
No? That's what I'm saying. They've been giving up points, but not a lot of yards.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it just the way their games have been going. I know that. I know that
it's like weird stuff. It's like special teams maybe, or like a weird turnover or something.
I mean against the pass, them and the Buccaneers are rank on the bottom, near Seattle and Kansas City, Baltimore, Washington. All those teams you recognize as having horrible defenses. Dallas is right there against the pass. They're really good against the run. That to me, I know you're saying that New England doesn't run. I just think that Dallas is going to be able to contain them. They have the linebackers, right? And they're going with the tight end. So it's not like, you know, they're running these wide receiver sets and Dallas gives up, you know, in the secondary when they're in the dime package. Like it's a different dynamic of a game. Like they're inside. You know what I mean? Linebackers, tight ends. We're just and that's where Cowboys strive.
And that's what I was gonna. That's what I was saying. I don't necessarily agree. That's what I was saying. Like, we have different takes, but I kind of agree the same thing. Is that I don't think that the Dallas has a good defense, but where Dallas has a good defense is where New England wants to play with the tight ends. So can these Dallas linebackers, we've seen like Micah Parsons and some of these other guys be getting after the quarterback, but now can they cover? Can they cover Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith? Can they cover these intermediate routes with these, Jacoby Myers and stuff like that? Can they stop the run? I mean, like we said, going into the season, I thought the Patriots were going to run for 100 yards a game no matter what. It hasn't been the case this year.
But can New England stop Zeke?
Nope.
And Pollard?
Nope.
Dude, they literally could not. Like,
No
who's
one
going to guard
can.
Amari Cooper, bro?
I've been betting against Dallas. I don't know what I've been thinking. Dallas 5-0 against the spread, 100 and a zillion points every week, and 2 million yards. They're unbelievable. Yeah. They have 2 good running backs. They have 4 good wide receivers. They have 3 good tight ends. And if Dak Prescott is healthy, they're just going to keep playing. I was joking about the numbers, but literally they're going to have 400 yards or 4 touchdowns every week. So, at a minimum. So,
I love Dallas, man.
I think that Bill Belichick put a lot of time and prep into planning against Tom Brady.
Interesting.
The week or two before, right? Was that 2 weeks ago now?
I think it was 2 weeks now.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, I think he put a lot of prep into that. So I think you saw, the Buccaneers
the
offense
Houston
kind of.
Well, you saw Pats versus Houston. They almost lost last week. That's why we both had Houston
turnovers.
last week.
That was because of turnovers and stuff, and that was, I think, again, a little bit of a layover. I had Houston last week, and I think
we both had that.
Yeah, I think Houston might have covered that entire game, start to finish, as well.
They should have won.
I was a little bit of a hangover, but what I was saying about the Buccaneers is that Buccaneers have a great offense, and then they only scored 19 points. But I think that was like Bill Belichick's A game. Not saying that Bill Belichick doesn't give his A game every week, but he's not prepping for Dak Prescott and these guys like he was for Tom Brady. I mean, he might not have slept the whole week. Like, he was going as hard as he could to beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. So, and they still put up 19 points. So, and Tom Brady had some uncharacteristic throws in that game. He overthrew a couple guys, underthrew a couple guys. I think he was actually a little nervous for the first time in 5 or 6 years. So,
sure. All right.
Cowboys, I like them, even though they're going to New England, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still like them, and they're one of my best bets as well. So we got a double best bet Dallas on this one.
Wild. Okay, makes me nervous.
Makes me very nervous.
So we got the last 4 o'clock. The Vegas Raiders, who are in the news big time this week. Another crying coach.
It's NFL, not my NFL.
at Denver. This is my hold your nose pick of the week. Why in the world are the Las Vegas Raiders only plus 3.5? They lost a coach. You told me it's only half a point, right? Because it's -3 at home. Denver -3, Mile High. You told me it's only half a point for the John Gruden-less Raiders. The whole organization is a joke. Mark Davis doesn't know what's going on. Carl Nassib didn't show up.
Yeah,
everybody's pissed off, and they're only 3.5. This is my hold your nose and take the Las Vegas Raiders, man. They're gonna take it to the promised land. Who has Denver played? Denver has played absolutely nobody, man. Literally nobody. I don't believe in Denver at all. I know they're home. I know you love Teddy Two Gloves. I love the Las Vegas Raiders.
He's the cover king, baby. 3-2 against the spread.
Where's Vegas at?
I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find them. Las
Vegas 2-3.
2-3.
All right, that's it. 3-3 after this week, baby. Everything evens out. Give me Las Vegas plus 3.5. I don't know if they're gonna win the game. I don't know about the money line here. I'm not going bold here. Give me 3.5. Hold your nose. 3.5.
I like it. I'm opposite on this. I think Denver at home. I guess you're right though. Denver hasn't played anyone. Las Vegas Raiders though, I don't really believe in them. I mean, they started out hot 3-0. They beat Ravens week 1. They beat a banged up Steelers week 2, and then they beat the Dolphins by a nail biter, I think in overtime with a field goal week 3. So the Dolphins stink. So they lost pretty handily to the Chargers and to the Bears. So, on the road, home team here. I just think that the
makes sense. Everything says take Denver here.
Denver
at home. The Vegas coach. They don't have a coach. They're on the road. It all makes sense. They just come off a law. I get it. And hold your nose and take Vegas, bro.
Yeah, hold your nose and take Vegas. I think that if the whole thing with John Gruden was like, I don't know, there's something weird about it, because I feel like when something like that happens, like, all right, so when it's not really a good example. I'm trying to think of how to like say it, but like with Urban Meyer, it was like a one-off thing that Urban Meyer did as a coach, but Urban Meyer.
By the way, he's fine.
Yeah, but Urban Meyer looked like a clown. So like if Urban Meyer fucked up somehow, like if he was like drunk driving one night, and it's like he fucked up, he didn't hurt anyone, he didn't do anything crazy, he made a mistake, the team can kind of rally behind that. John Gruden's thing is like years, and like everyone knew about it. So it's like, it's not like just getting rid of John Gruden fixes the problem. It's like, okay, like did Mark Davis know about it? Okay. Did other people in the organization know about it? Like,
all right. Can I go off a little bit about this topic, a little off tangent from the gambling thing? But I was listening to Andrew Brandt.
Okay.
He has a podcast, business podcast. He was a GM in this league for a long time. He's got the in with the NFL. So he's talking about how it's very interesting that the person who was the subject of these emails was DeMaurice Smith.
Yep.
DeMaurice Smith, the head of the Players Association, was up for a job that same day that this email dropped. And out of all 650,000 emails, the only one that leaked was about DeMaurice Smith, which he was getting reelected on that day.
Okay.
Brett was a little suspicious about this.
Okay.
Which he's like, what about, like, he's like, we don't even hear about anything else. And another aspect is, like you said, someone had to know about these. It's an email chain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't one-off emails.
You know, and everybody knows. And
there's 8 people CC'd on them.
And guess what? Most of them are part of Washington. But the only person that got in any kind of heat was the guy from Vegas that has nothing to do with the organization anymore. And so his whole theory was, this whoever leaked this whole thing is around DeMaurice Smith, which I thought was so interesting because nobody's talking about that at all. But I had no idea he was being reelected for something.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean? So
I don't keep up with the NFL Player Association election schedule.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's really interesting, and I think that the Vegas Raiders are pissed off. So I think this is a huge game for them. I think they're gonna stick it to Goodell, right? Because it was about him. So they think it's coming from him.
Yeah, that was the craziest part about it too. It was like all the terrible things he said, and they made fun of Roger Goodell. It's like, what?
Oh my god! Yeah, exactly.
Jesus, Adam Schefter, calm down.
Yeah. So all that that's why hold your nose and take the Raiders, man. Everyone's gonna make you hate the Raiders this week, right?
Fuck, I kind of want to take the Raiders.
Yeah, hold your nose, man. The Denver has beat nobody. I'm not scared of Denver. Like if this was like a good team, I'd be worried. Like, if this was at the Rams, I'd be like, oh man, I don't know. The Rams are good. Yeah, like Denver.
Division game, Mile High, October, still a little warm out.
Hold your nose, take Vegas.
All right, let's get out of the 4 o'clock window. Let's go to the primetime games. Sunday night, where I am a king.
This is my what the hell am I missing, man? And not even what am I missing. What the hell am I missing?
Yeah.
That Geno Smith is only plus 4.5 at Pittsburgh.
The magician's gone and poof, he vanished.
The magician is gone, bro. They're 2-3 with a spread with the magician. And now they're with, am I allowed to say, the worst quarterback in the NFL? Is he right now the worst quarterback? I mean, Mike Glennon is playing this week. Sims is playing. Yeah. I feel like Geno Smith is right with those guys. I know he beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, if you're talking about like starters and stuff.
Yeah, starters this week.
Him, Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. I cannot believe it's only 4.5. I don't care what you say about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't care. Juju Smith is out. Another crier. I didn't realize we had 3 criers this week.
Another punch in the face kind of guy too.
You don't like Juju?
No,
man, his speech made me like him a little bit more. I'll be honest.
Yeah, his speech was good, but
he was like, "Yo, I just love dancing. I'm sorry." Like I just I feel you, dog. I feel you.
Dancing's not like crack cocaine, dude. Just chill out. Stop doing it.
Yeah, I know that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I just love
it. I can't stop.
I just love Pittsburgh so much here. I don't know what the hell I'm missing. This line should be 9.5. Why in the world is it 4.5?
This should be it should be 14. It makes no sense. The Seattle Seahawks stink with Russell Wilson, and now you have Geno Smith.
I know.
Geno Smith. Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback, not above average. He's an elite quarterback. He's a top 10 guy in the NFL right now before getting injured. And now you have Geno Smith, a bottom 10 guy in the NFL, come in. I don't care if Dwayne Haskins is playing. I love Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh defense is going to, I don't know.
They rank almost last in every defensive category.
They stink. The guy who we will not name stinks. Mr. Sack or whatever they were calling him on Twitter. He sucks.
My God. The whole thing just makes me so happy because now the Jets draft pick looks better for Jamal Adams.
Are we gonna get 2
I know you don't want to talk about him, but he stinks, bro. He stinks.
Stinks. You said his name. You're not supposed to say his name.
I know. I said it because now I'm happy.
He stinks.
I can say he can come out.
Stinks.
I'm not scared. He's not
Pete
Voldemort.
Carroll.
They were scared of Voldemort, Greg. I'm not scared of Jamal Adams. He's a linebacker, bro. He even told the NFL he's a linebacker. They tried to franchise tag him as a safety. He's like, no, I'm a linebacker.
Stinks. Make up your mind,
linebacker, bro. We know you're a linebacker. The defense stinks.
You're barely a defensive player. Let's calm down.
Quarterback stinks. The offensive line stinks. How in the world are you going to take? How in the world are they only 1.5 points better?
It makes no sense at all. Pittsburgh, a zillion ways. You said it was your one of my missing game of the week. It's my one of my missing. What the hell am I missing game? I'm with you. Pittsburgh. I was thinking about making it. Honestly, I was really thinking about making it my best bet. But something about Sunday night. I've been good Sunday nights. I think I'm 4-1.
I will never do a primetime best bet, even if I'm 10-0. I will never. I cannot. I stick at primetime, man. I can't do it.
I think the only game I missed so far is freaking the Patriots against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, I had Tampa. You probably should just fade me.
Yeah.
On primetime. I just fade me on primetime.
That's the case. I don't know now. Now I kind of want to take Seattle.
Yeah, well, the problem because I think I like Buffalo, man. And the Monday, I know Buffalo's your team, and I think I like Buffalo.
Why are you tailing me on all these picks?
I'm not tailing you, man. I'm just taking the favorites. I'm just taking the favorites in prime time. What do you want me to do? I can't pick prime time. Just give me the favorites. I mean, Pittsburgh's what the hell am I missing? Buffalo.
This could easily be what the hell I'm missing. They just beat Kansas City in Kansas City, and now they're a 5-point favorite. 6.5.5 point favorite against Tennessee, who stinks.
I know. Man. I don't know. Should I just hold your Tennessee so you can win this bet?
No, you shouldn't. No, these are so
No, I like
easy.
Buffalo, man. I like
Pittsburgh, Buffalo.
I mean, I would love if Buffalo lost this game. I really would. Nothing would make me happier than Buffalo losing this game. I'll take the L. I just don't see it happening.
Buffalo is a best bet of mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Buffalo.
I didn't know that. That's your best bet.
Buffalo's the best bet. It's my last best bet of the day.
Wow.
I think I had them last week. I should have had them every week. They're just unbelievable.
Wow.
Dude, they just have they honestly might have the best offense and the best defense in the NFL. I mean, Josh Allen's is certified superhuman.
Okay.
Whole offense is good.
I mean,
Diggs still has yet to have a good game. I traded for him from you in Dynasty. He's yet to play good.
I know, you're right. I know that. I've been keeping an eye on Diggs. Sorry.
He puts up 16, 17 points every week, but I'm waiting for 40.
You're waiting for Diggs Day. You're waiting for Diggs Day.
Yeah.
Diggs Day is coming.
I did get Knox, though. I picked him up in Dynasty. I needed a tight end so bad. I picked up him. He's been amazing. His offense is incredible. Josh Allen's my starting quarterback. Knox, Diggs. I played 3 Buffalo players every week in Dynasty. Because they're just unbelievable. They can spread it around. Their defense is freakish. They keep investing on the defense side of the ball. That's what I love about some of these teams. It's like when they get a good side of the ball, they don't just switch to the other side of the ball and draft like 6 guys on offense. They kept going after defensive guys. They added depth. They got more pass rushers. They literally, I think this draft drafted players to stop Patrick Mahomes. They're like, we need this is where we're trying to get to. We're trying to win it all. If we're gonna win it all and make a run, we need guys that we can rush 4 or 5 guys and get pressure on a mobile quarterback. So I like Buffalo minus 5.5. Prime time, we're going heavy on the favorites. That's okay because we have a ton of underdogs earlier. And then I don't know if we want to do a rundown of our picks before, or do we want to go through our teasers and Hail Marys first?
It's up to you. Let's go through our Hail Mary.
Okay.
What do you got?
Hail Mary
party, like.
I am taking 2 moneyline underdogs, and then I am taking 3 favorites with the points. And we just talked about 2 of them, so let's start there. Prime time, the lights are on. Actually, the last 3 games of the slate, all the favorites with the points. Dallas minus 4.5, Pittsburgh minus 4.5, Buffalo minus 5.5. I guess it depends on where you get them because I was looking at FanDuel earlier. FanDuel had it a point different. So where I was getting it depends where you're getting it, but around there, 4.5 for Dallas, Pittsburgh minus 4.5, Buffalo minus 5.5, and then the Chargers money line, Arizona money line. That gets you to plus 4,100 on a $100 bet. That's my Hail Mary pick of the week. It's 5 games. It's 5 games. I think these games. I know Arizona's a money line underdog, but it's 2 points. I think it's gonna be close. Chargers money line underdog again, 3.5 points. I think it's gonna be close. It's not crazy. I was thinking about doing crazy stuff with like Washington and Houston and all that.
Yeah, that's me. I got some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Instead, I'm just going 5 games because it's hard to hit a parlay. It's hard to hit a 3-teamer. I'm on a 5-teamer. And instead of going with the favorites money line, because I think with the favorites just the money line, I think it was like plus like 1,800. Mm-hmm. So throw the spread in there. They're all kind of inside football numbers. I know Dallas is 3.5, 4.5, but Pittsburgh again 4.5, 5.5. Mm-hmm. Buffalo minus 5.5. It's all under a touchdown. I'm not scared of Seattle. I'm not scared of Tennessee, and I'm not scared of New England right now. That's my Hail Mary. 100 to 140, 100. Let's hit one of these. I need to hit one.
Yeah, Hail Mary, baby. Hail Mary.
Gotta get it.
My Hail Mary is I'm going with 6 money lines, man. Okay. I'm going with some easy ones, right? Pittsburgh, Green Bay, the Chargers, Kansas City.
Okay.
But I'm also gonna take 2 crazy ones, and this is really what makes it a Hail Mary. Detroit and Jacksonville, both winless, and I think they're both gonna win their games this week straight up. That's plus 34.83. $100 down, win 3,400. I don't think this is just crazy, man. All 6 of these teams could easily win this week. It's only really 2 big underdogs, and they're only catching 3 in the hook, and they're both desperate. One's at home in London, and one just came off a cry game.
Yeah.
I mean, what more can you ask for? It feels like this Hail Mary has a chance.
Yep. I like that. I like they were both around the same thing. 5 or 6 games, $35,000 to $4,000 for ours. For my teaser, I'm going a little bit bigger. I'm going a little bit crazier. I had 5 games in my Hail Mary. I'm going 8 games in my teaser. 8 of them. So the odds are getting up there. I know the last couple of weeks I've done them that were like $200, $300, $400. I think you hit one for $500. I hit one for $180. This week I'm going a little crazy because there's some games out there where you can get these numbers at a good spot. So I'm going to Houston, moving it from 10 to 16 against the Colts. Chargers, moving it from 3 to 9. Lions from 3.5 to 9.5. Again, all these lines, you can find them, shop your lines. Try to find a sports book with some better numbers if you can. The Rams taking it down from 10 to 4. The Cardinals plus 3.5 to 9.5. The Cowboys switch from minus 3.5 to plus 2.5. Pittsburgh from minus 5.5 to just plus 0.5. And Buffalo minus 5.5 to plus 0.5.
Okay, so how much you win on that?
100 to win 1,100 on that. And you're getting a lot of teams. There's only one favorite left after all of that. It's the Rams minus 4 against the Giants. Everyone else, you're getting points.
All right. So there's one thing I learned a little bit from teasers, right? You tease yourself teasers, as you like to call them.
If you're teasing yourself.
Exactly. And what I learned is the number one rule is to not go through the zero. Because if you go through the zero, you're losing the teaser. You just you're going from the -5 to the whole point is going in the drain because you're going through the zero.
Okay.
So I try to stay away from that now. Personally,
are you talking about like in the case of like Dallas going from minus 3.5 to plus 2.5? It's like, all right, well, if it's a football game, if it's a field goal game, now you're losing.
Exactly, but you're also losing a number. Like you're not really gaining 6.5 points. You're really gaining 5. You know what I mean? The teaser is like 6.5, but you're really 5 because you lost on that zero. So you know what I mean? That's what I've been learning about the really golden do nots of teasing.
Instead, go Arizona from 3.5 to 9.5.
Yes, exactly.
Stuff like that.
Just don't touch the zero. So
I like that.
On that philosophy, I'm gonna go a little bit more conservative this time. I need to win. I need to win a little bit. So adding 6.5. I'm going to add the hook. And we're going to take Jacksonville 9.5, Texans 16.5.
Yep.
Carolina 9, Chargers 9, Detroit 10, Cardinals 10, Raiders 10. 7 teams, 3 of them catching 10, 2 of them catching 9, 1 9.5, 1 16.5.
Oh my goodness.
Plus 550.
Love it.
I mean, what else could you ask for, man? So that's my tease yourself teaser. I have a feeling I'm going to get back on track this week. And yeah, that about really wraps it up for that. Our best bets. Greg, you got Rams, Dallas, Buffalo. I got Jacksonville, Dallas. Scary, man. I'm really scared about this. And I got the Clippers / Chargers. But as you guys all know, if you've stayed here and you've listened, thank you. Catch us on YouTube. Subscribe to the Knicks, Jets, etc.
Yeah.
We have the Jets playlist. We got the Knicks playlist, and we got the Winnings Picks weekly playlist. If you want us to improve, let us know. If you want us to go live, we can do that. Let us know. Whatever makes you guys tingle inside, we can figure it out for the YouTube. Raisi,
YouTube's great. The Spotify, Apple.
Raisi's got us all logged down on the podcast. Our producer, please follow his new album.
Yep.
And that's about it. This is the time where Greg and we go through the slate. So, Greg, let's do it. Miami at Jacksonville, 9 a.m.
Jacksonville plus 3.5.
We'll go to the 1 o'clock. So I agree with you there. Green Bay at Chicago. Chicago plus 4.5. You got Chicago.
Plus 4.5.
I got Green Bay. Got Cincinnati at Detroit. Detroit plus 3.5.
Detroit plus 3.5, baby.
Wow, we're both on Detroit here. Wild. We got Houston at Indianapolis Colts. Indy minus 9.5. I still can't get over the number.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking Houston plus 9.5.
Same here. Got the Rams at the Giants. Giants plus 10.5.
I do not like how many games we're on the same page on. Rams minus 10.5, best bet of mine.
I'm just noticing this, but this one you changed me on, so
Yeah.
that's whatever. I got Kansas City at Washington. I got my Kansas City Chiefs. It's minus 6.5. We all know Greg has Washington.
Easy.
He's just fading Kansas City any day of the week. Here, I'm listening to you here, man. Minnesota at Carolina, and I kind of hate myself, especially because of Shaq Thompson. I'm going with Carolina minus 1.5. I'm riding with you here.
Carolina, baby. Let's go.
Last 1 o'clock game, Chargers at Baltimore. My best bet, second best bet of the day, the Clippers, man. Clippers all day at the Baltimore Ravens. Your man's going to fumble.
Baltimore Ravens are fraud. Chargers plus 3.5. Give them to me.
Yeah, you're using the F word. Remember what happened to Big Cat?
Dude,
Be
frauds.
careful. Be
Come
careful.
at me. Let's go Baltimore Twitter. I'm ready for it.
Jumping into the 4 o'clock, we got the
Crap
What's
Creek
up?
suck.
Uh-oh. He's talking about the old Bay seasoning now. Now we're getting too now we've crossed the line. Now we've crossed the line. So we got the undefeated Arizona Cardinals battling COVID at the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking Cleveland.
Okay,
I hate them.
Arizona plus 2.5, baby.
I hate them, but I'm taking Cleveland. And then for my hold your nose pick of the week, Vegas at Denver. Vegas lost everything. Doesn't have a thing. Lost their coach. This and that. Problems with, Carl Nassib. Issues everywhere. They can't hold it together.
Still even on the team. Who knows?
Who knows? Give me Vegas all day. Hold your nose. 3.5.
Denver minus 3.5.
The daunted double best bet. Dallas.
It's never been done before, people.
Dallas at New England. We both got Dallas minus 4.5. Honestly, if I were you, I would not take Dallas minus 4.5.
I was gonna say if I was a listener at home, I'd be racing to the stand to put in the New England Patriots money line right now.
And for the next two, we are all over the same teams here. We got Seattle at Pittsburgh in my what the hell? I don't even have a what the hell am I missing pick of the week, and that's Pittsburgh because if you take Geno Smith and you win, congrats, bro.
You.
Yeah, do it again. Honestly, just keep doing it. Like, go ahead, enjoy.
Pittsburgh
I'm taking Pittsburgh minus 4.5 here. And I'm terrible at prime times. Monday night, hurting after a week, but this is my favorite week, man. There's no Jets. This is my week. This is my week to strive.
Great. I can sit down and I can watch. I can enjoy football.
I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be upset on Monday at 8 o'clock. I'm not going to be hating football.
No,
I'm excited.
The only way this week sucks if our picks that we doubled up on all lose.
I agree. But I got to take Buffalo minus 5.5 to close this out, man.
That's my last best bet of the day. Buffalo minus 5.5. They're the best team in football. Let's lock it in.
And with that, you heard the man. Lock it in, subscribe, like it, follow us on Twitter, hit us up.
5-star reviews, comment, all that good stuff.
1 minute. We're on the Minute Media Podcast Network.
Yes.
It's lit over here, man. Let's interact. Let's win some money.
I want to know what people are betting. I just want to know what you guys are taking this week. Are you taking prop bets? Are you hammering something? Like, what are you taking?
Are we stupid? What do you?
I just want to know.
What do you hate?
What am
what
I
philosophy?
missing?
Yeah. What analysis are we making that you guys don't like?
Yep.
We're interacting in the YouTube comments. We're interacting on Twitter. Let us know, man. Let us know.